Hello from me, Detailing Yoda. Welcome to my little channel where I try and help you through your detailing problems or whatever, help just really put out my knowledge and experience out there to hopefully help you guys. In this video, what I'm going to do, this is the fourth video of my ceramic coating series. And really it's the sort of roundup one where I'm just going to talk a little bit about the maintenance of ceramic coatings, how to maintain your ceramic coatings. Boom! So there we go. Welcome back if you've made it this far. Sorry it's been a bit of time since the last one. Obviously I do this stuff around running a detailing business. So I try and do it as regularly as possible, but it's been a bit longer for this video. So to be honest, I've been working out how to phrase it. And to be doubly super honest, it's pretty hard sometimes to pick up the camera and put you on a tripod and set this up and just talk. You are putting yourself out there every time. So it is difficult, and I guess that's why everybody doesn't do YouTube, but you should do it because it's good for you and it'll be good for your businesses. So it's hard, but you should do it. And that's why I'm doing it. That's why I always tell myself. So maintenance of ceramic coatings is a range of things really. That can be on the one hand from how do you wash a car differently that's got ceramic coatings on to one that has not. All the way through to us professionals, when you coated a car 1 or 2 years ago, how do you maintain that? How do you bring back beading? What do you do if it's picked up some swirl marks? So a range of things really. So on the outside, why do we ceramic coat things? We ceramic coat stuff because it's a longer lasting paint protection. For me, what that means is we can use more aggressive chemicals to clean the car, and we're able to clean the car much better because a ceramic coating can resist chemicals. I don't mean putting brick acid on it, but you know, the old thing with waxes was always we had to use pH neutral products, everything was pH neutral. From what I understand from the science of removing dirt, there are two types of bond, aren't there? Ceramic coating bonds to the paint with a chemical bond. Dirt tends to bond to paint with what's called an ionic bond, so like a magnet. So I forget which way around it is, but dirt, let's for argument's sake say is positively charged and a car is negatively charged, and there is an ionic bond there. I think there probably is a bit of a chemical bond as well, maybe a mild chemical bond. So, you know, and obviously different types of dirt are bonded to paintwork with different bonds and in different ways and with different strengths. So, for example, winter salt is best removed, I believe, with a slight acid because it more easily breaks that bond to the paintwork. However, a lot of other contaminants have a bond that is more easily broken with a slightly alkaline solution. Other things, obviously, so, you know, like anything in detailing, actually, you need the right solvent to remove a contaminant in a way. So, you know, a iron remover is no good on tar. Tar and glue remover won't touch iron, you know, just because you need a solvent that will attack those individual things. So on the maintenance side of things, very broadly, what that means is we're able to use things that are more suitable to removing whatever the contaminant is on a car that we need to remove. And that's individual on a car. I have a tree that overhangs my driveway. I can freshly coat a car or a test panel on my car, park it under the tree when the sap's up, and after 2 or 3 weeks, the beading has massively reduced because there is a layer of tree sap over the top. So it's very important, so let's start at the outside. What I always tell my customers when I'm giving back a ceramic coated car is one, to use a ceramic coating specific shampoo. We have this new category of shampoos now called pure shampoos, don't we? Which basically, shampoos go into the science of shampoos, that if you're really geeky and interested in it, they have a lot of things in them because mainly they're geared at someone who's not a supercar cleaning geek like us to wash their car with on a Sunday. So it needs to wash quite well. it needs to contain things in there that will make the car look a bit more shiny. It needs to have things in there that will bead water and keep it cleaner for a bit longer. So they have a few different silicons and a few different polymers and a few, generally a pot of whatever shampoo you can name has a few different things in to do a few of these jobs. If we've spent a lot of money on a coating or spent a lot of money to have someone apply a coating to our car, what that means is the shampoo probably has less work to do because we probably like to look after our car more. And what we don't want to do is leave a residue behind on the paintwork because we just want to let the coating do its work. So we want to clean that off, clean the contaminants off, but we want to leave very little behind. So I've got a Gyeon t-shirt today. Gyeon have helped me a lot in my education of ceramic coatings. So a lot of what I talk about is from a Gyeon specific point of view, but I'm not, I'm an unauthorized detailer for them, but I'm trying not to bias this too much towards any one manufacturer. However, do your homework on what, Gyeon have a great range of maintenance products. If a coating manufacturer does not have a great range of maintenance products, how much do they really understand about how coatings work? There's a good question for you. So on the outset, we can use, better, we need to use a pure shampoo, sorry. Generally, snow foams are slightly alkaline, so we can use an alkaline snow foam, which will do a good job of removing most types of things. And then we can use a pure shampoo, which will then wash off any snow foam residue, but it will also wash off most of the other dirt on the vehicle and not leave behind anything. So it lets the coating get on and do its job. So that's the sort of daily maintenance, the short-term maintenance side of things. Then let's say we get to the sort of 6-month mark. By this point, I don't really care what the coating is. If it's been left outside and it's done some reasonable mileage, the performance, the coating performance, the beading, the water behavior will have slightly dropped off, unless it's already been boosted by an SiO2 spray, or unless the shampoo that you've been using is an SiO2 boosted shampoo. Be careful, some coating manufacturers out there say, you must use our shampoo. And when you read the MSDS sheet on it or whatever, you read in there that it is in fact a boosted shampoo. So their claimed durability is all to do with using their shampoo, which is already boosting the stuff in there. So be careful of that. But yeah, however, even if you're maintaining with a pure shampoo, you'll notice that sort of 6 to 8 month mark, maybe you've done 5,000 or 6,000 miles. The beading probably should still be there, but it'll probably have turned more into sheeting, and it just won't be as sort of crazy as it was before. Now that will generally be due to the fact that here's some paintwork I prepared earlier. We've got the paintwork, a few layers of paint, and a very thin layer here. You probably can't see it very well, but a very thin layer here of coating. What happens over time is obviously, we get dust, water, rain, all that sort of stuff hit our paintwork. And we've got to remember, the main thing we've got to remember is that stuff is not pure water. Rain is not pure water. There are all sorts of stuff. And wherever you are, the water that hits your car will have some different contaminants in. You might park under trees. There might be tree sap landing on the car. All sorts of things could be landing on the car. And eventually what will happen is they will build up, like a crust, a covering, microscopic covering or a coating over the top of that layer of the coating. And it will start to what we call block the coating. So at that point, the sign for you that that's happening is that the beading will drop off. So the sort of perceived wisdom, if you like, at that point is to use a booster spray, or to just, after you've washed the car, spray it with a booster and it will start beading again. Well, it will. In my experience, it won't bead up as well as it did originally, because what you're doing is you're then effectively putting another hydrophobic layer on top of the layer of contaminants. What you really need to do is remove the layer of contaminants, and then that lets the coating get back to how it was originally. So how do we do that, you ask? In all honesty, it will depend on, like I just said, the contaminants on the vehicle's paintwork. So whatever that contaminant is, you need to use the appropriate solvent that will get rid of it. And by solvent, I don't mean a solvent in the form of like a paint solvent. I mean, a solvent is anything that dissolves anything else, isn't it? So if you live right next to a train track and the car is covered in iron fallout, that solvent will be a fallout remover. If you've driven over a lot of brand new roads and the bottom half of the car is not beading because it's covered in tar, that solvent will be a tar remover. I've also heard the term acid wash. So all of this stuff is interesting because I think it's an area where we as detailers can definitely learn more and educate more and be educated more. And I think it's an area where the coating manufacturers are still learning and are still learning how to advise us. So one of the terms I've heard lately is acid wash. I've tried a variety of sort of acidic solutions to wash stuff. One of the guys who I think is sort of leading the area in acids to maintain or acidic, when we say acids, I'm talking about, 1 or 2 on the pH scale from 7, which is 0. I'm not talking about, brick acid or wheel acid. One of the guys who's really advanced in this area, I think, is Kai from Kamikaze Collection, who talks a lot about silica scale buildup and has a range of water spot removers, silica scale removers, that sort of thing, which I have to say are excellent. The shampoo he uses has an element of silica scale remover in there, so he's now got a sort of 4-step maintenance system for coatings, which I think is brilliant, and in my experience works very, very well. So in that instance, when you get a car to 6 months old, and I've done this on my cars with multiple coatings, you can bring that coating back by basically wash the car 3 or 4 times with something slightly alkaline, something slightly acid. Go over it with a fallout remover and you'll notice at every stage the beading gets better and better. And that's because we're removing this crust of contaminants, I believe. Let me know in the comments if you know something different. While we're on about it, by the way, I keep forgetting to ask you to subscribe. So if you're loving the channel, please click the thumbs up, hit the subscribe and tap the bell. If you're finding this stuff useful, really, do tag your mates in it, and please do comment and ask me for some video content, or just let me know how I can help. I don't know everything about everything. I do have a lot of experience with detailing. I'm an authorized detailer for a lot of different brands, and I do machine polishing training for Rupes, and I'm an authorized trainer for them. So I know a bit about a bit, but I don't know what I don't know. So I'm fully aware that I don't know everything, but I might be able to help. Hopefully I can help. And the feedback I'm getting is that you guys are getting some genuine benefit from this, so that's great. So help a little channel, help a small business, click the like and the subscribe, give us a comment, and give us a share if you're finding this stuff valuable, because it's a great way just to give back. In all honesty, I'm giving this stuff out there for free. So if you want to give back in a small way and help me out, that would be mega. So yeah, get hold of this concept of this crust that we're trying to get rid of, to dissolve, to let the coating carry on and do its work. Obviously, eventually, we can keep doing this stuff, but we will get to a point, the interesting thing that I've said in some of these other videos is there is no test to determine whether or not a ceramic coating is present on a paint. Wouldn't it be great if we had a marker pen, we could put it on, and if it turned a certain color, there was the presence of a coating? We can't do that. So at some point, we're going to get to a level with a car where, it just needs refreshing. Normally when it's picked up swirl marks. Remember, a ceramic coating only adds a couple of points on the H scale to a paint. So if the base paint hardness is 4 or 5H, you might take that paint to 7 or 8 or 9H. If it's a very soft paint, it's going to be a medium paint. You're not, this 9H, 10H stuff only applies if the substrate is hard. If it's a super soft Asian paint, it's never going to be that hard, and it will mar, and it will mark over a long period of time. So at some point, you're going to have to remove those marks by machine polishing, at which point you are removing some of the coating, I believe. So I personally do a ceramic coating service, which is once every 12 to 18 months, I recommend, where I do a light machine polish. It removes swirl marks. I have to say, on every car I've done with that service, it does feel like there's still a base amount of coating there. You can feel it when you machine polish. It doesn't polish like bare paint does. So coatings are interesting, you know, if you're a geek and an idiot like me, we're interested in this stuff. So for you pros out there, you know, how do you maintain a coating or a car that is coated that's picked up swirls? Just treat it like normal, clay it, give it a good set of washing to remove that crust, and then a light machine polish to remove the swirl marks. And then I would renew whatever the top coat is. If it's a Gyeon coated car, 9 times out of 10 I'll can coat it. That is their recommended maintenance product. If it's a G-Technic car, maybe just re-exo it. Lots of them have, you know, either a top coat or a shorter term thing, because cars, you know, ceramic coatings are great, but tar will stick to them and all these other things will stick to them, which your customer might not want to remove, might not have the inclination to remove, and once a year might want to just give the car a nice jolly up anyway. Certainly lots of my customers do, and that is much more of a thing that we do now. So you can easily, you know, there is definitely a day's worth of work in giving a car a deep clean, detarring it, giving it a light machine polish, and renewing a top coat. So hopefully that sort of answered the maintenance side of things for you a little bit more. So we've got the sort of periodic weekly washing, then the more sort of 6-month mark where we need a deeper clean to remove this crust buildup, and then we've got the sort of 18-month to 2-year thing where we might put a machine polisher back on the car. So I really hope that helps. Upcoming videos from me are going to be, I think we need to do some work on paint depth. I've had a lot of comments on paint depth lately, and paint depth is changing massively in the world, so it's something we can do some good education on, hopefully. There's the new Rupes compounds video I did last weekend. There will be some new Rupes pads coming out, and as soon as I can get my hands on some of those, and as soon as I can get the skinny on those from Rupes, I'll be putting a video up on that. And any more than that, just let me know. Let me know how I can help. Is there, maybe we can do some stuff on supercar polishing or Porsche polishing or show car stuff, or we can go anywhere with this wonderful world of detailing, can't we? So do have a look at some of the other videos on the channel if there's some stuff I've just mentioned that you've not seen already. And if you're all up to date, thank you so much for your support. Maybe do a like and a share for some pals. And look out for the next video, because you click the bell and you'll get a notification when it turns up. So until then, enjoy your shiny cars, guys, and we'll speak to you soon. Ta-da!